Esmeralda's predecessors originated in the Punjab region of northern India as an American citizen. Esmeralda has always been the type of person who wants good. She dreams of having a comfortable life when there are many people against discrimination and being utilized as a slave. Once Esmeralda grew older, she got a job as a secretary in a manufacturing company, as she works for a descendant figure, Ivory Young. Ivory is a cool person who overworks many immigrants, but mostly the Romani people, since they are one of the most impotent people in society. However, not many people know that Ivory overworks those immigrants, because she claims that she is fair towards immigrants and gives them the wage that they deserve.
Good afternoon, madam. Esmeralda, how it is so good to see you this afternoon. You're just in time for work. Please feel free to take a look around and make sure you, as the secretary, kept things in order. Of course, madam. It is my duty as a secretary to keep things on the right track. He looks so skinny, as if he hasn't eaten in days. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You must be the secretary, I guess.
Precisely. What is your name, by the way?
My name is Devin Koslov.
Koslov, you say? Are you Romani, perchance?
Why, yes, I am. How'd you guess?
Well, you see, I too am Romani, so your surname is quite distinguishable to me. I don't mean to pry or insult you in any way, but have you been here? You look a bit...
I see what you mean. Well, I guess you're new here. But as we both are Romani, please don't tell this information to your boss. The reason why I look very skinny is because we immigrant workers were only given food once a day. We are permitted to any rest, and the longest time we've slept is only 4 hours. We weren't given any vital medicine when we got sick, and our wages is very slim.
That's horrible and completely unjustifiable. Why didn't you report this?
I couldn't. And even if I could, I don't have the power to expose the wrongdoing.
You couldn't? What do you mean by that?
Irene is a very, very powerful woman. She has the government within her hands. Even if we did try to do something, it's completely useless.
This isn't fair at all. This isn't right. We have to do something.
Go ahead and try. It's not gonna work. You'll realize it's gonna work.
Well, you wouldn't know unless you tried, right? I need to do something to help them.
Esmeralda begins to collect evidence on how to help those immigrants. She opens her laptop and types down all the documented evidence she has.
These poor people. If I can catch Ivory in action for her mistreatment, I will surely help in this investigation.
The next morning, while Ivory was ordering the workers around, Esmeralda took her chance to document what had happened truly going on in the company.
Hurry up! Stop being lazy just because it's almost time for a break. Ugh! I don't know why I even hired immigrants in the first place.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm truly sorry. Please, forgive me. I promise I'll work harder.
You workers are utterly useless. How dare you slack in the middle of work, you stupid little... As for punishment, you're not allowed to have your way. Period.
No! Please, madam. I promise you'll not repeat this mistake again. Please. I can't survive without any food.
As if I care. This is what happens if you disobey the rules. This is my factory. You should already know the consequences by now.
comes home, she begins to feel compelled to do something about the injustice that Ivorine did to them, and she begins an orchestration to help the poor immigrant workers from their cruel boss, Ivorine.
Okay, since I've taken some videos and photos about how cruel Irene is, it is time for me to send it to the police. I hope she will be put into her place.
After Esmeralda reported it to the police anonymously, the government sent out a warning letter to Ivorine's factory.
Excuse me, madam. Sorry to interrupt. I have a letter for you from the government.
What? I hear it so well. How did the government know about this information? This doesn't look good. I must do something about this.
Ivorine responded to the government by a letter that it was a false accusation. The government believed her since she made a verbal expression letter of treating them well, and because she is quite a powerful person, so they didn't dare to do anything to go against her.
Now with that settled, I need to identify and report this issue to the government. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be working.
My sincerest apologies, madam. But I just want to inform you.
Well, I cannot have all day.
Miss Esmeralda has been planning to take you and your factory down. And I heard that she wrote a letter to the government.
What? She wrote that letter?
Yes, madam. My apologies for not telling you sooner.
I see. Now that we have found the culprit, I need you to bring Esmeralda to my office now.
Of course, madam.
The immigrant worker left the office with pride. She was guilty of exposing someone who was trying to help the workers, but her mind was already engulfed with greed.
Finally, Esmeralda is getting put into her place. I can finally get rich.
After waiting for a couple of minutes, Ivorine hears a knock on the office door.
Good afternoon, Esmeralda. And you, take a seat.
Good afternoon, madam. Is something the matter?
I've recently been informed that someone in this factory wrote a letter to the government, which could have caused me to lose business. I wouldn't be mad, but you could tell me if you suspect anyone in this factory.
Of course not, madam. I was busy with maintaining order in the factory. I didn't notice any absent workers.
How disappointing of you to lie to my face. Congratulations, you're fired. What? But before you speak of any unnecessary excuses, that worker has told me about your secret plans. The audacity of you to lie to my face and to make me go out of business? You're a disgrace. I trusted you enough to give you the role of a secretary. Huh. You Romanies are all the same. Now, I want you out of this factory.
May I ask you something, madam?
After exposing Esmeralda to Ivorine out of greed, this was her chance to finally get higher wages and perhaps be enrolled as the new secretary, or so she thought.
What is it now?
Since I have told you about Miss Esmeralda's plans, I was wondering, may I take her place as the new secretary?
Well, of course not. The only thing you did was expose Esmeralda's plans. Do you think a little information like that is worthy of enrolling you as a secretary of this factory? In your dreams. Now stop wasting my time and get back to work.
The immigrant workers' attempts to raise her role were a total failure. She then hurried back to where she was stationed, angry her plan didn't work out as she expected. Disheartened, Esmeralda returned home, her face reflecting the disappointment of losing her job to a self-centered individual solely concerned with personal gain, leaving her anxious about how she would now secure her livelihood.
This is ridiculous. It can't be like this. I don't want them to suffer. This isn't fair. But how am I going to survive without a job? No, Esmeralda. Think of the immigrant workers. They still need my help.
Esmeralda was so infuriated with the fact that the Romani and immigrants were being oppressed by Ivory. She couldn't care less about the fact that she had lost her job. All that matters is to find a way to free those poor workers from their misery. Esmeralda now has the opportunity to share how the factory treated their Romani and immigrant workers. Hence, she used her social media platform to make people more aware of the fact that immigrants and Romani people are treated cruelly.
Hello everyone, my name is Esmeralda Kalmar. I am a Romani immigrant and an ex-factory worker in Ivory Coast Factory. Today, I'll speak nothing but the truth.
Oh my god, this is so unacceptable. I know, right? People must know about this.
As time went by, more people were more aware of the issue as it had spread across social media. People began writing bad reviews, causing the factory to lose business.
What the hell? How dare she post a video like that? I made her secretary, and I made her successful businesswoman. She had the guts to betray her own boss. She will regret this. Let's make a deal. Let's get straight to the point. How do we eliminate the evidence?
Easy, by killing Miss Esmeralda herself.
Esmeralda is calling with a friend as she talks about her plans for the upcoming holiday until...
Jesus! What was that?
Esmeralda? Hello? What's going on? You're scaring me. I'm going to call the police. Hello? I need your help.
Is that? It's blood. What happened here? Perhaps I should notify Mr. Morris.
The name is Robert Morris. I am a detective of the stolen case. I will order you to investigate at the same time on the lookout for this individual. I was not far from doing this, and I will quite finding her should be a piece of cake.
After several days, the desire to give up began to swell in his heart.
It's been several days since I've started on this case, and I still haven't finished it, nor have I found Esmeralda's body. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, or perhaps I'm just not thinking clearly. Think, Robert, think. Where could the body possibly be hidden?
While he was thinking, suddenly he saw something floating on the surface of the water.
Is that a corpse? I should call the police. Hello? This is Detective Robert speaking. I found a corpse floating by the river. I need backup as soon as possible.
Sir, we've identified the corpse, and in fact, it's Miss Esmeralda.
As expected, let's begin the interrogation part.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morris. I have been informed of your investigation. Please feel free to stroll around. I can't believe my dear secretary died. She was a kind soul.
Here's the thing. I found Esmeralda's ring, and I'm here to take a sample of your fingerprints to make sure that you are innocent.
What? You didn't say anything about this yesterday.
So what's the matter? You're innocent, right? It shouldn't be a big deal if you take a sample of your fingerprints. Give me your hand.
The sample of Ivan's fingerprints was taken, and 24 hours later, it was revealed that it was indeed Ivan's fingerprints on the gold ring. The next day, the police came to Ivan's office.
Good morning, officers. What can I do for you?
Miss Ivory, you're under arrest for being the prime suspect behind Esmeralda's murder. You have the right to remain silent, and anything you say can be used against you in the court of law.
What? You can't do this to me. How dare you touch me against my rights? Stop touching me.
The next day, she was sent to the court as a primary suspect in Esmeralda's death.
Miss Irene Young, you are here today as a primary suspect of Esmeralda's murder.
I swear to God, I didn't kill her. She's my beloved secretary. I trust her more than anyone.
Detective Robert, show the evidence if you please.
Thank you, Your Honor. The police and I had investigated Esmeralda's ring, in which we assumed to have Irene's fingerprints, and it is confirmed that it was her fingerprints.
What? I mean, sure, I didn't touch any of her things. Oh my God, I didn't mean to say that. Excellent work, Edmund. Wow, I didn't expect someone like her to be this rich. I'll be taking her accessories with me, and you will be paid handsomely.
It was a pleasure working with you, madam.
Let me take a look at her jewelry real quick. What the heck? This is so cheap looking. Well, I mean, of course it is. She could never afford something so expensive.
Order in the court. Taking the facts into consideration, it is clear that Irene Young is responsible for Esmeralda's murder, and for that, she is to be punished by the death sentence.
This is clearly not true. You didn't trust me. Stop touching me. No, please, no.
It is quite fortunate that her careless blunder of words ceased the case of her crimes, as it proved her guilty to the public. The Romani are finally free from Irene Young's authority and the factory itself. And so, justice was given through the relentless pursuit of the truth and the unwavering dedication of those involved. The dark veil of deception surrounding Esmeralda's murder was finally lifted. Irene Young, once a figure of influence and power, now faced the consequences of her actions. A sobering reminder that no one is above the law.